So I've been thinking about doing this for so long, and that is oil painting. My artist journey has had so many ups and downs, and I've tried so many mediums, you know, from pencil to like pen and ink to acrylic. I've tried it all. And currently I've been doing primarily digital art for the past like 5-ish years. But there's one more final boss that I haven't tackled, and that is oil painting. You know, I've always been enamored by oil painting and how it looks. And even in my digital art practice, I like to emulate oil painting a lot. Whether that be using oil painting brushes or implementing oil painting techniques, I've always liked to incorporate it into my work, although it's never perfect because it's digital art. Over the past couple weeks, I have been diving deep into this world of oil painting, and I have dropped a substantial amount of money to pursue this hobby, but I am glad I did. My first ever oil painting was something that I wanted to kind of ease into. I wanted to paint something that, as an artist, I was very familiar with, and that happened to be a singular eye. After my extensive oil painting research, aka one YouTube video, I ended up buying an easel, a bunch of paints, some turpentine, and I got straight to work. Honestly, for my first time oil painting, it wasn't too bad. And I just got a nice feel for how oil paints feel, how they work, how to use the little linseed oil, and just playing around with little things. And I actually liked how the eye actually turned out. I was able to use some of my skills from my digital art and apply it to my oil painting, but something wasn't quite right. For me, when I'm learning something new, I really want to learn it the right way, or as much as I can, really. Although I ended up liking the finished piece, I felt like my technique and colors were just a little bit off. So I had to take some drastic measures. I ended up taking an art class. Okay, so oil painting class is done. I loved it. I love it. It's the summer of learning. It's the summer of learning new things, and oil painting is what I'm learning this summer. It was really cool learning different techniques from this instructor, brushwork, all this stuff. So I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's done. It's currently in the not done phase. Honestly, this was one of the best decisions that I've ever made in this oil painting journey of mine, because my instructor, Bobby, she was super helpful in helping me get down the techniques and what I needed to learn in order to just hone in on the foundations of oil painting. I brought this portrait in to kind of paint, and she helped me understand how to actually paint it. You know, the basics of how to get a portrait started, how to mask in the shapes to get your proportions right, and all these things. I also learned a lot about just mixing colors in general, and how to use your palette, and just a bunch of just foundational things that I probably wouldn't have gotten on my own. I mean, I could have watched a YouTube video, but I was lazy and I wanted to figure it out by myself. But I realized that having someone else teach it to you is much easier. I ended up taking the portrait home to kind of work on it and finish it off, which was nice because I could be in the comfort of my own room with my record player going and everything that I wanted to do. And I just had that foundation from that class that I could take and finish up the painting. Okay, the painting is done. Took me probably 3 extra hours to finish this, but that's the painting. We're gonna continue trying and perfecting my techniques, but I think it turned out pretty cool. Honestly, for my first portrait in oil painting, I wouldn't say it's that bad. Obviously, there's some issues with the proportions. I could have mixed colors better, you know, there's always something to improve on, but I think for the first portrait ever in oil painting, you know? I mean, this is kind of where oil painting and digital art differ. There is no lasso tool. I can't just move things around. I can't adjust proportions when I get something wrong. I mean, I could paint it over and just repaint it, but that's a lot of work. Getting proportions down the right way and first is such a crucial thing that I learned is necessary in oil painting. But yeah, this is the painting. Overall, I kind of really like it. I like the size. I like how cutesy it is. It's like an unfinished finished painting. I'm not gonna do anything else to this painting, but it's like an unfinished look, you know? I think I might do more paintings in this little size. It's like a cutesy little size. I don't know, I like it. My second ever portrait was of one of my closest friends. Her name is Laureen. Love you. I ended up taking a bunch of photos of her in my backyard because she was in town, and I was like, bro, we gotta take photos. We gotta do this photo shoot. So for this one too, I also went back to Bobby. I was like, Bobby, one more time. Run it one more time. What do we gotta do to do this? And really, she just helped me kind of get my mind around drawing a bigger scale. This is my first big scale painting, actually ever. I think My only other painting I've done has been acrylics, and it's always been in this like little size here. It's like a big, it's like a 16 by 20, which is not too big, but it's not like small. And not gonna lie, the canvas size was a bit intimidating at first. And honestly, looking back, I don't think I placed the portrait in the right spot on the canvas. I remember during the art lesson, Bobby was like, yeah, do you want to like move it up a little bit? And I was like, no, I'm gonna put stuff at the top. And then I like finished the painting and I'm like, I don't think I want to put stuff at the top. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and you learn. Honestly, I never actually finished this piece because I didn't know what to do with the background. I will finish it eventually once I figure things out, but I think I like the portrait turned out pretty good. Like she's just like in this like cutesy little pose. I think my main takeaway with this one would be to spend more time planning out my piece before getting into it. I think that I've had this very surface level idea of how a painting would look like, and I didn't actually sketch it out or anything. I kind of just like, oh, I think I'm gonna do this and this, and then I just went and started painting instead of actually sketching it out. Now I still do want to finish the piece, so I still have no idea what to do in the background. So if you have any ideas, put them down in the comments to help a girl out. My last and final piece to date is a piece that I actually am like pretty proud of. And this is also a painting of one of my friends. I also did a photo shoot of her in my backyard. It seems like there's a common theme here. My backyard is photo shoot central, apparently. I told her I had this idea for a painting and she was so down. This is perfect. I need people who want to be taken photos of and to be painted, you know? But literally during this photo shoot, the weather was not cooperating at all. It was gloomy. It was raining at some point. We ended up with some photos that were not great, I'm gonna be honest. But you know, this is why Photoshop is my bestie. I put those photos into Photoshop and I did little adjustments, and I came up with this reference photo that I was able to actually like use for this painting. This piece was super fun to work through. And fun fact, I actually only used 4 colors on this entire canvas. I ended up just using magenta, cadmium yellow, not yellow crimson, cadmium yellow, French ultramarine, and white on this entire canvas. And not gonna lie, I learned that from Bobby. Bobby strikes again, because I was thinking about oil painting and I was like, this is an expensive hobby. I can't keep buying different color paints all the time. She's like, you only need 3. And I'm like, what do you mean you only need 3? She just showed me how to like mix skin tones with the different colors. I chose magenta instead of red because I really like the undertone of magenta. I primarily paint and draw black people, and a lot of dark skinned people have a purple undertone. And so I have this. I also do have the red, but with this painting, I used the magenta because I liked the purple undertone. So I used those 3 colors and I ended up with this entire painting. So that was my little tangent for that. Overall, honestly, the process of this painting was super relaxing. I had my record playing on the back. I just got this album. I've been wanting this album on vinyl for so long. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, honestly my favorite album of all time. I know that's very cliche, but I love it. Honestly, if you are a digital artist who has yet to try oil painting, I highly recommend. 10 out of 10. I have absolutely fallen in love with oil paints. This is the thing, digital artist, I know I'm an artist. I'm very proud of it being a digital artist, but there's something about that tactile feeling. I just felt like I was in my own studio, aka my spare room. So if you're a digital artist who hasn't tried painting, please paint. Try it. Obviously, there's still so much for me to learn when it comes to techniques. I feel like I do have a style when it comes to my art, and I think that from digital to painting, it kind of still came out. This is a concept that I've kind of been thinking of recently, and that's this idea of slow living. And I think painting embodies that because it forces you to be tactile with what you're doing. It forces you to mix paints. I remember yesterday when I was finishing up this painting, I literally spent like 8 minutes probably mixing this one color because I was like, with my palette knife, I was like, add this. Oh, it needs a little bit more yellow. Mix again. Oh, more red. Mix again. Oh, needs more blue. You know, just like mixing a bunch of colors. And I was mixing until I finally got a color, and I was like, that took me a long time to do. Maybe because I'm not advanced yet. It forces you to really think of what you're doing, which I've been trying to get into because life is too hectic. And now I can confidently say that I have another medium in my back pocket. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. If you want to see more of my oil painting journey, let me know down in the comments if you're a digital artist who has tried oil painting or if you're just an oil painter in general, let me know some tips, tricks. I appreciate the comments. But yeah, that's all for me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.